Hello, Scorpios. This is your November reading. And to be honest, I made your video already. It was dope. I wanted it so bad. I spent like most of the week trying to recover it. I accidentally erased the videos thinking I was making more space on my phone. I was so mad. But you know how spirit is. Whatever it is that we need to hear, it'll come out. And so I'm going to just go ahead and start. I'm going to smudge using some Palo Santo. How are you guys? My videos are for zodiac readings are late because the whole week I was spending time with my ex-boyfriend who came in from out of town in Boston, and I didn't know that we were going to kind of be bosom buddies the whole time. I didn't know what to expect. As you guys know, I live with his parents. They let me stay with them after the hurricanes in St. Thomas. And so if he comes in town, I see him. And there wasn't any bad blood or anything. It was actually really cool. And I actually feel even more cleared in our relationship to each other than I did before. I saw that I had grown up a lot. And that I didn't need him the way I thought I did in certain ways. That it's okay for me to stand on my own 2 feet. And he got to see my growth, and I got to see where he's grown, I really spent a lot of time encouraging him because it's been hard for him up there by himself in Boston. Him being a Virgo with a Taurus moon, he doesn't really like change. And I feel like the universe brought him up there so to shake him up, to shake things up in his life. So I want to welcome you to your November reading. And we're going to focus in on a Sri Yantra. I'm going to try something new. For those of you who like short readings, I will do a short reading here. And then I will do an extended reading for you on Patreon. Okay? All right. So here we are. Scorpio, your highest good, purpose, prosperity, health. Your health is your wealth. Your energy flow is your wealth. Manifestations, clearing out of energy. And you know, that's I feel like that's the message that I'm getting. Like, in order, Scorpios, in order for you guys to make way for your manifestations, there needs to be a clearing of some sort. And I'm going to light up my blue lotus flowers. You can still join my Patreon. For the month of November, the theme is the fearlessness in 12th house. And the base herb I'm using to make the balm, the salve, is blue lotus. And today is the day that my tincture is ready that I've made with blue lotus flowers. But you can also order it on my website if you don't want to pay a monthly fee. You can just pay for it on my website. I figure I'll be ready to ship by the end of this week. So I'm going to use the higher love, oracle cards as like themes. And I haven't done this in a while. But I'm going to get 3 themes for you. And I just feel like I need another ding. Traditional relationship. New and revived relationship. New or revived relationship. And then pausing to reflect. Now, the pausing to reflect card is the same. Like, that card was the last time the first time I did the reading. All right. For some reason, my intuition just wants me to use the traditional deck. So we're going to start off with traditional relationship. You know, and what I'm seeing from these themes is that maybe a bit of your controlling nature, which I feel that Scorpios don't really pay attention to how controlling they can be. I feel like Scorpios think that they are easygoing or more light than they actually are. And when I see the traditional relationship, it's giving me like controlling for some reason. So let's see what card comes out for it though. Traditional relationship. And now all of a sudden I have to pee. I just went to the bathroom, so this wouldn't happen. Alright, so while I was in the bathroom, what came to me is about what you want versus what you need, what you expect versus what's actually coming for you. I feel like, Scorpio, you've been playing it safe. That's what's coming to me. And that this new or revived relationship is going to revive your relationship really with yourself and your manifestations in your life. It seems that you've been controlling everything around you for too long, and you're becoming stale. Your life is becoming dull and boring. That's what I'm getting from traditional relationship. So the card that pops out, and I saw another card turned over in here. Okay. So the card that pops out is the 9 of Pentacles. Hold on. I want more light. Okay, is the 9 of Pentacles, and then the 9 of Swords, and it seems like the 6 of Pentacles is giving you a message as well. Okay, you sharing, you being a giver, and you kind of, oh, this is you leading the pack and giving and sharing and loving. Okay, you're used to that. That's what you do. You have matured in a way that you have become known for your maturity. You have become known to be solid for people around you. People know that they can come to you for anything. And you are a blessing to everyone around you. You have cultivated this love, this spirit, because you know that innate, this is not why you do it, but you know that whatever you put out, you're going to get back. I'm sorry, I need water. So many interruptions. Yeah, you know you're going to get the energy back, like tenfold. Like, and even if you didn't, you know, you're fine with it. But for some reason, like your gifts and your giving, it's like you're suffering alone. Like, who's there for you, type of thing. Like, who is there for you with your nightmares? It's like you are a salve and a balm for other people. Like, you're like the mom that coos you to sleep, that sings you a lullaby, that you're like the mom that has her own children, but also is known for taking care of everybody else's kids. You're like the person in the neighborhood that's like, sure, I don't mind. Like, you can always take on more, Scorpio. And you love from your heart, and you don't mind. But this is saying that it's like, who is there for you when you are going through your hell and your nightmares inside? Like, this is a very mature card. And then the Six of Pentacles is a very spiritually mature card, and kind of complicated, because in order for you to be a leader, or for you to be the rich person that have all these values to give to others, there has to be people impoverished around you. You know, it's like one doesn't work without the other. Which would mean that if you're always in this position, Scorpio, no one is there for you. They can't be there for you. And that's the controlling part. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's the controlling part. Like, what are these nightmares that are keeping you up at night with this Nine of Swords? What are these negative thoughts that you're thinking about yourself when you're such a highly evolved, giving, spiritual person? What is like this double life that you're leading? And I'm going to end this reading right here. And if you want to see the rest of it, I suggest you go on to Patreon. Okay, let's go. We're going to ding again. For the rest of the reading. Alright, so I feel like we could do like a whole 2-hour reading on this card and this card together. This makes me weep for you. This makes me want to ask you so many questions, because this to me looks like stuckness. Like, it's like you don't know how you got here, or even why you feel this way. It's like you feel like you should be happy. Who are you doing this for? What is it you're trying to prove to yourself? I'm going to continue on with the rest of the next card, the new or revived relationship. And we're going to see what it has to say. We're going to see what comes out. But I want you to keep those questions in mind. And also, keep other questions in mind, because time isn't linear. Even while you're watching this, I feel like you're affecting the reading. Like the future affects the present, and the past affects the present. So if you're watching this, you were meant to watch this. You were meant to see this, and the fact that our destinies are colliding affects this reading. So there's some things that you don't know about yourself, and you don't know about life, Scorpio. And I feel like you need to be open to that. And I feel like once you become open to the fact that you don't exactly know how to free yourself, then and I mean like in a playful way, like you need to play with life a little bit more. Some of the things you've been through have gotten you to this serious place. Like you're serious. You take love and caring about people very seriously. You don't play the radio. You know just how much people need your love and support and caring. Why? Because you didn't get it. Which will put your back up against the wall and make you feel like you don't even really have the space in the room to be the one being given to, like being the child. When did you get a chance to have a childhood? Now, I'm not talking about you wilding out and going off and being wild because you're acting out. But I mean like your innocence being protected. Or you just haphazardly, unabandoned, asking for what you want. I want some candy. I want a new Barbie. Like, and I feel like that just gave me an inkling into a world that would make you serious. If the answer has always been no, now granted, a lot of Scorpios get spoiled in their youth, like at a young age, from like baby to maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. But being spoiled and people kind of putting on you what they like a baby doll kind of thing. Like a lot of Scorpios are like the first child or the last child, and they this is not the rule, but this is just from my observation. And they get like everything they want, kind of. But if you didn't ask for it, and people are just kind of like doting because maybe I feel like sometimes people are doting because they have an overflow and excess of love, and they hold back their love, and people like to give freely to children because they feel like, I don't know, like this, like they're getting something back, like the joy of seeing a child react to getting things. It's like people get filled up by people's reactions to things. So I feel like that's why people love giving the babies and children, because it's just kind of like exuberance, and I feel like people feed off of that exuberance, and it makes them feel the same way, type of thing. But like, then for a Scorpio, when you turn, I'm sorry that I'm going in on this, but I feel like I need to. But then when you get out of the cute stage, and maybe you have another sibling, two or three, you're not the cute one anymore. You're not the first. You're not the only. Then the answer starts to being no. And I feel like a lot of times Scorpio, unfortunately, people don't like a know-it-all child, quote unquote. People don't like a child that has wisdom, because people don't know what they're looking at. People can a lot of adults barely know who they are. I feel like Scorpios go into who they are naturally. It's part of the sign. It's part of the attributes of the sign for the child, for a Scorpio child. And that's just not cute. And the answer begins to be no. And then you begin to get bitter. But then it also creates this dichotomy, is like, I know what it feels like to be treated poorly for no reason. You know, it's like people get mad at you just for being you. People have gotten mad at you just for being you. And so it's put you in this position where you feel like you have to prove over and over again to people that you're a wonderfulness person, right? Who doesn't ask for anything, who doesn't need anything, who doesn't need anybody. And it's just not the complete and total truth. Granted, the mother goddess, spirit, can use anything to her glory, and she does. And she won't stop, you know. But what does that create in you? Like this secret longing to just be human. And then you lose touch with it. And it creates these monsters. And it creates this secret hell to where, like, your desires are denied. Or your desires become lascivious addictions that are hard to get out of and confront. When all it really is, and I don't want to diminish what anyone is going through, but at the same time, in order to heal, you kind of have to put a lighter, put it in a buoyance, give it more buoyancy. You have to give some of the things you feel more buoyancy and room to be more playful instead of so constricted and like a rock, you know. Take the sting and the seriousness out of it. Bitterness and seriousness. Somebody who's serious and bitter, but has a smile on her face and loves to give. All right, let's move on. New or revived relationship. What is that? And it looks like you need it. New or revived relationship. Yes. The Fool. I'm sorry it's taking me so long to say something. The chasm between this situation and this, the gap seems so big to me. I can barely speak. It just is like, it's like there's a tower. The tower is in between this. To me, like, it's like a silent tower it's like a gift to you. Because what I'm thinking, I'm just going to say, the universe, I'm going to say this, and this might be a little bit controversial, and it may be just me. I feel like the universe can be pretty stingy sometimes. Like, sometimes I feel like manifestations and all that jazz and all that business can just like kind of like take way too long for certain people. It's like you're almost like ready to die. And sometimes people do. And it's like the game of life is just so very much like unfair. No justice. I feel like this is grace. That's what it is. I feel like this is like a bone being thrown at you. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I feel like you could possibly miss the boat, and I don't want you to. Like, I feel like you could possibly like not take the opportunity to go on this journey. But I also feel like you're going to be forced to. I feel like you're not going to have a choice. I feel like it may be a bit inconvenient. I feel like it might be the wrong timing. I feel like you may resist it. I feel like you don't see it coming. I feel like it's like a clap. It's going to be like some weird sci-fi, not weird, but some sci-fi movie where you like press a button and the wall changes around and you're like in the Garden of Narnia or something. It's like you're going to move from a stale situation where you felt like you're in control, where you have been calling the shots and you've been the kind of like the martyr, queen, king, or whatever, to you looking a fool. Maybe even to yourself. You're going to be like, what, baby, what is you doing? You know, like, you're going to be like, what is this? What am I doing? Why am I out here in these streets like this? And the fool is, like, you're being reborn. You're in your pure avatar. You are like a baby. And you don't know. You don't know. You just have, like, your instincts, the clothes on your back, and like maybe some tarot cards in your purse, you know, like and I've never noticed this before, and I love noticing things that I've never noticed before. There's lots of different terrains here. There's like this sunny sky. You see the sun? Maybe you don't, because I have it kind of dark in here, but I like it like that. And then these ice caps. And like this mountain. And I'm getting nostalgic because this reminds me of me personally. Last year, right before I left to go to St. Thomas, my world was like this. Like, I purposely moved into my car and I had a new adventure every day. And because you don't have a choice when you live in your car. And I had a great time. And it's probably because I made a decision to put myself in that situation. Because the universe was like, you're going to get sick. You could probably get cancer if you don't do what we tell you to do. And sometimes the universe can be like very, don't care if you're comfortable. You have a mission. You're not here on your own accord. You're downloading an energy, and you already know that life isn't about you, Scorpio, because you are a giver. You nourish people. You nourish and you give life. You're a life giver. But you've been too controlling with it. It's not for you to kind of like not have a well-rounded existence and to never experience adventure ever again. So we're going to move on to pausing to reflect. This is a really, really dope reading, and I still want to look at the Nine of Swords some more. Pausing to reflect, and we will. We're gonna go into it even more deeper for the Patreon members. Pausing to reflect. All right, so 3 cards came out. The Seven of Cups reversed, the Moon reversed, and the Hierophant reversed. And to me, this looks like you're finding your bearings. It looks like you're trying to find your footing. It seems like a choice is made, for better or for worse, and maybe the choice was made for you because you refused to make a choice on your own. And you were thrust, it seems like you were thrust out. You're going to be thrust out of like sorrow, pain, misery, of holding yourself to this high ass standard. This mold that you kind of cut out for yourself, and you're going to be released from that. And it's not going to be like your choice. I always think of, when I see the Seven of Cups, Paravati watering the grass outside by the lake. And that is a card that did come up for the same position last time. It's like you're going to be more in communion with spirit, and you'll think, you might feel like you're going crazy. And then when I see the Hierophant reversed, it's like a very unconventional, unorthodox existence for you. Because Scorpio can be a very controlling traditionalist. And this is not something that people talk about. People always talk about how sexually free and maybe transformative Scorpio is. But I feel like Scorpios are very dynamic and multifaceted. And part of being a Scorpio, you know that your dream is to kind of be militant. You would never put it in those words, but you would like to have stability. I would say that. Because your life has always been like, there's just been lots of things that have happened that you can't rely on, or people that have broken your trust. There's been betrayal. It's like you're cast as a star in this movie that you didn't ask to be in. So you've made yourself to be a stable person for other people. And it's like driving you insane. And it's because you don't want to be you hate immaturity. You hate immaturity because of what it has done to you in your life, in your childhood, in your path. You know? But it's fake, though. It gets to a point to where it's just not real. Like, it's not possible to only, like, just be you're making yourself into a cartoon character at a certain point. You know, it's not true that you don't have feelings about things. What about your anger? What about your rage? I feel like this card comes on when your rage is stuck, your anger is stuck. Like, your primitive feelings need to come out. And in order for your primitive feelings to come out, it's like you're being thrust into all different types of situations, terrains, meeting new people, a new beginning, a fresh start. Just like this card denotes, a new or revived relationship. Now, we're going to get even more into that. We're going to get more into this. I'm going to pull some more cards. I'm excited. I like doing it like this with the extended readings for Patreon. My intuition told me to do this a long time ago, but I resisted for no reason. Hold on. All right. So now we're going to pull catalyst cards, clarifying cards, and just get more deeper into the reading. Okay, and I also feel like I need to smudge again. So, I'm smoking blue lotus flowers, in case you forgot. Which you can order from me if you want. I'm going to make more kits and maybe even some monthly subscriptions, boxes, maybe. Well, that's what I'm doing on Patreon. Making monthly subscriptions where you get something new every month. My intuition wants me to use these for I say catalyst cards. I want to know the catalyst for this situation with the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. And I think it's interesting as well that you have this traditional relationship. It seems like with life, with the people around you, where you just hold everything in its proper place. Trying to hopefully things don't fall apart and get too messy, right? That's the whole reason for tradition. Now, tradition is not culture. Culture allows for a life-death-life cycle to take place. Tradition causes this. First, it has to be a person on top, people on the bottom, and a suppression of desires. That's what tradition causes. But I thought it was interesting that you have this traditional relationship, and then at the end, pausing and reflect. You're pausing and reflecting upon maybe the possibility that you're not traditional. Because you have the Hierophant, which is about marriage, keeping tradition. But it's reversed. And it seems like in order to get that, your mind's being boggled. Like you're being shaken up. Even your sanity is being... is going through it. Which is good. So, what's up with this Six of Pentacles and this Nine of Swords here? There's a card that wants to come out. That's what's causing it. The Seven of Wands. In this Osho Zen Tarot deck, it says stress. And we see a man here who... I want you to see this picture because it's just very... very clear. You see a person here trying to like hold everything together, juggle everything. It's too much, you know. Candles, trying to blow a horn, trying to keep bubbles intact. You have a monkey. I never noticed this. There's a monkey here on a leash. And the monkey is very deviant. Fuck that monkey, yo. Because that monkey's like about to pop that bubble. And like, even though you had 3 legs, why do you have 3 legs? I never looked at that. You have 3 legs here. And you have one that's like not even firmly planted on the ground. So this card is telling me that, you know, the image that you would like to have of yourself and that you want other people to have of you is that you can like you know, what's so interesting to me is that, and what makes me mad, is that our society will rather you, sorry guys. It seems like people would rather you be this because the Seven of Wands in the traditional tarot deck denotes being on a defense, defending what's rightfully yours. And it's kind of like what we talked about earlier. Like you're defending your right to be seen as a decent human being, a caring person, a light, supportive. You don't want to be the victim any longer. It's like you don't want people to look at you and see your past. You want people to see you for who you really are. And so you kind of been controlling your image like your own PR agent. You know, and if you look at your childhood, that is what you went through in your childhood. It's kind of like you're doing to yourself what has been done to you already. It's like you're treating yourself the same way your parents treated you. Look, take a look. I'll give you some time to think about that. Do you see that? Like, you didn't get to ask for what you want. You didn't get a chance to really completely live out being a child. You were given what you didn't ask for necessarily, and then like people call you spoiled when you ask for what you really want. It's like, oh, you're just used to getting whatever you want. You're spoiled, right? Can you relate to that? Not everybody can. But I know there's some Scorpios that can. Oh, so it's like you're trying to juggle. Like we were talking about before. Trying to make everybody feel comfortable with you. And you're uncomfortable as shit. You know, but if you drop all these balls and you drop everything, then, you know, then what? What do you have? Who are you? Well, it looks like you'll be able to start fresh. Let's pull a catalyst card for the Fool. That's very painful, which would be the reason for the despair and the negative thoughts. Baby, it's okay. Like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to, like, you don't have to try to destroy your nature to kick it. It's not worth it. You know, if people are going to talk, let them fucking talk, yo. I just want to throw these cards because it pisses me off. Like, that pisses me off about this world and some people. Like, especially, I feel like Scorpios put themselves in position to be around people that disapprove of them. Because you need the proof that something's wrong with you. And that means you're doing it to yourself. Because if you kicked it with people who were like you, then you probably wouldn't like them. And this is an issue of self-liking, not love. I don't like that word that much, honestly. I like Venus. Venus is about what you like, what you value. It's like fun, more fun than love. Love is, what the fuck is it? Like is like, do I want, like puts you in more particularities. That's not a word. You get to be more specific. Do I want vanilla, plain old vanilla, or do I like pistachio sprinkled on top, or do I just want to get a whole thing of Talachi pistachio ice cream? What's my gig? And then Mars is about what you want. What do I want? Baby, you are allowed to have what you want. You know, a lot of things get put on Scorpio that we never asked for. Because I'm a Scorpio too. We never asked for that. It's like, I didn't ask you to do that. A lot of people fall in love with us and do things for us and expect appreciation because a lot of people see us as the impoverished one. And they think they're doing something big by assisting us, right? And then they get mad when we're not, when we don't kiss their ass. Boom. And then you end up feeling indebted to people. Like you have to stay in a situation even though you have risen above that situation. It's okay not to need people anymore after they've helped you. You don't owe them anything. You don't have to stay. You don't have to stay. Basically, people are disrespectful as shit and they call it being helpful. Being helpful is helping someone and then letting go. You know, and sometimes it looks like the monkey that you are dragging around. I don't know who this monkey is, what this monkey is, but I notice it and I never noticed it before. It's like, even though your eyes are closed and you're sounding a trumpet, which is very telling as well, a trumpet, in this situation isn't going to be a smooth sound. It's like a cry for help. And this monkey it seems like they're looking up to you. They have a smirk on their face. And they're ready. They're ready to pop your bubble. They're ready to pop your bubble. So let's move on to the Fool, and I'll look at that monkey later. The Fool. And it seems like the monkey got you there. Let's look at the Catalyst card for new or revived relationship for the Fool. The Five of Swords reversed. It looks like when you stop comparing yourself to others, and too much comparing yourself to other people is also a catalyst. But when you stop comparing yourself to others, you'll be able to free yourself. You're unlike any other. You're an original. So what would things look like on the outside? You have to like let that go. You have to let go what things look like to other people. Nobody knows what it feels like to be you. You have to, that has to be an understanding. So let's look at the Catalyst cards for the Seven of Cups reversed, and the Moon reversed, and the Hierophant reversed. So you have this success. This is the Six of Wands, another Wands card, some more fire as your catalyst, and then you have the Page of Swords, the Page of Mind. So you have wind and fire. So like you have the fanning of the flame of your fire. And the Page of Swords to me is super interesante because it denotes technology, it denotes skill, it denotes genius. The genius of your mind. It gives me Avatar tease. Like it's giving me that you're tapping into, the universe is helping you tap into your genius. And that you will have the last laugh. You'll be successful. You're going to be, it's inevitable. The universe is setting you up for success. Now, we're looking at time frames here. Because I just thought of like when. Like somebody asked when. You know, when is this? When am I going to be successful? When am I going to get out of this situation? When is the monkey going to burst my bubble for me? Because I don't have the guts to pull the trigger myself. We're looking at time frames. Now, for some of us, it's going to be very soon. You know, I feel like when you give up and you can't take it anymore, and maybe you start acting more out of character, when that monkey finally bursts your bubble and everything just falls apart, where else do you have to go? Except into new terrain. Like everything's falling apart. There's nothing the same anymore. Fine. Fuck it. I'm not this perfect person with this perfect image and this perfect life. I never will be. I'll never be like you guys. I'll never have the perfect education or the perfect husband and wife and the perfect story to tell. Or maybe even the most poised image and way of being. But I deserve to be here too. And I am still very intelligent. The way you are going to weld your success. And it's okay, what just came to me is going to come from you helping other people find their genius. Let's look at some more cards. Your success is kind of not just your own. I'm getting a message that what you have learned over your life is to support people. That is going to be very useful. You are going to build relationships with people. Your place in this world, in this time in your life, is going to be full of interactions with other people and helping them make something innovative that affects the collective, or maybe your community, or you're going to make an impact. This is what I'm trying to say. On the community in some way. And it's going to be successful. So let's look at this monkey. Like, who is this going, what is going to pop your bubble and finally just kind of like set you free? What's the monkey? What is the monkey? The monkey's not on your back. The monkey is something that's just the watcher, watching you believe that you have to do all this in order to kick it. What's the monkey? I need another card, the Three of Pentacles. Another. So the first card that comes out is the Three of Pentacles. And it looks like you're looking for help and support and kind of like wanting to start a family business type of thing. Like wanting help and support for your ventures and things where you're at right now in this situation. With people who, the King of Cups reversed, who talk a good game. They say they're going to help you. And then the Seven of Wands, again, reversed this time though. They say they want to help you, but they're not really on your side. They don't have the intentions, and nor do they really have the means. The Two of Pentacles reverse. You're looking up to people who are welding an image for you. Maybe making you feel like they're the only ones. Or, I'm sorry. The Three of Pentacles, because I'm seeing you like with your tail wagging, like a happy, friendly pet. Kind of getting mollywopped and disappointed by people who make empty promises. Who are unhealed, but they look well enough, you know. And it's interesting that I pulled the Seven of Wands again reversed. So I'm going to read that card from the Sacred India Tarot deck, at least like the meaning. So it says, the card of the excuse maker. There will always be many plausible reasons why What must be done is not currently feasible. The provisional attitude, if this, then that, after which one day in due time. Fear of loss becomes loss through fear. Tiredness, both physical and emotional. Hesitation, fear of action, is actually fear of hurting, tender, and usually fallacious. Sentiments of others, giving in to others' wishes, especially parental and social. Loss of opportunity, neglected talent, working in safe but inappropriate jobs. Wishy-washy approach to life, fear of failing, fear of being thought incompetent. So the people you have around you, because this is the Three of Pentacles is you, just like the Six of Pentacles is you. You are right and ready to work, ready to go, rest to go. You are willing to take on all the work. You're willing to do damn near everything, but you know you can't do everything. So you're like reaching out for help, and you're sincere, and you have the tools and the competency and the capability and the wherewithal. You've gathered all your tools. You're ready. You're in love with what your purpose is, and you know who you are, and you're ready to work, and you're ready to go. And what's getting you depressed, down, and like out of sorts, and you can't sleep at night, you're blaming yourself for people saying that they can help you, but they make excuses. They're afraid. They're afraid, honey. Like these people are afraid because the King of Cups reverse is like a shoddy ass nigga, like for real, like who claims to be a guru or whatnot or what have you, claims they can heal you, claims to be Superman, but they know they ain't. They know they're not. They're smart enough to know that they're not. But in order to have you around, because they want you around, because you give them life, you know, and they're watching you strain and struggle, and they kind of want to help, but it's just not their bag. It's not what they do. It's not where they're at. And this is where the controlling part comes in, Scorpio, for you. On one hand, you're a mentor, a teacher, a healer, a life giver, strong. On the other hand, because of your fear, because as above, so below, as within, so without, whoever you hang around, it's also a reflection of what's going on with you. This is something you need to heal. Your own inner fear. And what are you afraid of? Well, it seems like you're afraid of not having enough. So you try to hold on to everything you've got. And sometimes holding on can make you lose more. Okay, for instance, what I've noticed is that sometimes I get clients who are problematic. And for me, a problematic client is someone that is maybe obsessed with an ex-lover and wants to call me and spy on them, wants me to spy on them psychically, where they're at, where they're going, who they're with, if they're sleeping with someone. Are they out of town? Are they in love with somebody else? Are they fucking somebody else? And I don't like doing it. And sometimes those clients can make me money like every other day. In a profession where I depend upon getting clients every day. You know, that's pretty, at the beginning, it was really hard for me to decide to make the wise decision to let them go. But what I found is that when I let go, I get 2 more clients. Like seriously. And I'm not over exaggerating. I get, even when I let go, I get more. You need to know that. You really need to have that understanding, Scorpio. Because this to me is like energy. That is it. You can stay in this situation and just keep going around and round and round, round. What is your expiration date though? Like, when are you going to have had enough? You're comparing yourself with people who you know more than. You're actually in a better position. than they have ever set themselves up in. They know it too. Nobody's going to root for you. Not these people. They're not going to tell you, you know what? This is what you're waiting on too, Scorpio. I can see it. You're waiting on someone to be a good person. You're waiting on someone to be a stellar person and look at you in your face and be like, go after your dreams. Don't stay here with us. We're rooting for you. You want to know that somebody in this world has your back and that you're not alone. That's why you're putting yourself through this with these people. That's why you stay. You're loyal to a fault, and you're not ungrateful like people make you or say you are. You're not a vampire, a succubus like people have said you are. All the names people call you, opportunist. You're not that. You just didn't get a chance to finish growing up in ways that Scorpio grows up. But Scorpio growing up is different than other signs growing up and coming into their own. Scorpio is a big business. It's not just normal rites of passages that you see. This Scorpio is like heal a woman, save a nation. And not too many people are on board to really help you and sacrifice for you. Not too many people want to protect you as you go on this journey, because that's your blind spot, Scorpio. And this is why you are the fool. You're a fool for taking on a mission that you're taking. You don't have any clue what you're getting yourself into. You're not supposed to. The question is when are you going to trust yourself to have your own back? Let's move on. Let's look at the catalyst card or clarifying card for this Fool and the Five of Swords reversed. I'm going to eventually post this on YouTube because I know that I don't have enough members on Patreon, and I just really love this reading. It's bomb. I want everybody to see it. That's going to watch it. So eventually I'll put it on YouTube. The Five of Swords reverse and the Fool. You finally give up fighting other people and realize that, you know what? That's a waste of my time. This is my journey. This is my choice. Other people don't have to come along with me and like trust spirit the way I'm supposed to trust spirit. You really can't ask people to go on this journey with you that don't belong there. It's too dangerous, to be honest. It's dangerous spiritually, mentally, and sometimes physically. You know, depending upon your mission and what type of spiritual warrior you are. It's built for you. And so you're the one that has to trust spirit. You have to kind of spread your wings a bit. Realize you have them. And that's what's going on. And a lot of times for Scorpio, you don't even know that that's what's happening to you. You don't know. I just told you. All right. I have so much clarity. Wow, we got that. We hashed that out. I feel that's nice. Yes, this is nice. All right. Okay, I trust that the next card is going to come out. There's the Tower that I was waiting on. The Tower. The Tower. Remember when I said I feel like the Tower is between you, this traditional image that you have been. I mean, and granted, this has been a safe box for you to grow up in. It's a lot of Scorpios, they start off having home training, but you get so bitter, you get a little rough around the edges sometimes. And you created boundaries for yourself to grow up in so that you can kind of stay safe. And then that means like keeping a job for a while, keeping up with responsibilities of being an adult. Taking care of yourself, paying your bills on time. Being part of a family and responding well to people and not like stinging people all the time. Basically maturing, you know. Basically learning to trust yourself to be like a human. Again, you can get these blue lotus flowers. You can join me on Patreon and I'll send them to you. Or you can order them on my website, Eye of the Dawn. So the Tower. Not surprised. It seems like after you stop comparing yourself, it seems like, okay, once you make the decision that I'm just going to be me, I'm going to love me, because the Tower is next to this person, this people, this situation where you know people know you need help. They say they're going to help you. They really don't help you. They make excuses of why they can't show up. They're disorganized. They're not helping you. And nothing's getting done. Everything's disorganized. And you feel like you can't do things alone. Boom, the Tower. The Tower. Why is this Tower happening? Need more clarity for the Tower. It looks like because of the disorganization and the double-mindedness of trying to hold on to a situation, people, places, things, that you can't move on and keep this. It's like one or the other. And then the Queen of Cups reverse comes out. You've definitely been taking on other people's energies too much. It's like you hanging around with and being in this situation with unhealed, unorganized, wishy-washy people who don't have balls to move forward. Is causing you to be that way. You've gotten into this state where you feel like you just need to be comfortable. That's and so you are not pushing yourself to move forward, just like them. And so the Tower comes in. And I always want to know, like, what is the situation for the Tower? What's the story? What can we look out for this Tower? I'm going to pull some other cards because that's more clarity. The Tower. These cards are like, ooh, I haven't been used in a minute. The Tower. Ooh, the shuffling so nice. The Tower. I can't wait to get to the last part. The Tower. It's so juicy over there. The Tower. So what comes out is the Seven of Water, which is the Seven of Cups, and then the Ten of Earth reversed. So it's like you're making a decision that even though you don't feel like you have everything you need, you might even be in debt, you might even like not be able to support yourself completely. Okay. Okay. So it's like the situation that causes the Tower is you making a decision to be like closer to spirit and opportunities that will nourish you, but also there's also other opportunities and unclarity involved here in what to do with the opportunities that you have. And maybe you don't think you have any because you're seeing like the Ten of Earth, wealth. Like you're seeing like what's most important again is your comfort. Like you're not seeing that. It's like you're stuck in this way of seeing your life. It's very, the daughter of water reverse is very codependent, like unhealed, immature emotions. Then the Eight of Air, interference. You know, like you're getting in your own way and stepping on your own toes. And it seems like it's not even really your energy. It's other people's energy. And it's going to cause you to not be in the best position. You're not going to be in the best position taking on other people's energy. You have to know the difference between you and other people. And you also have to take responsibility for where you end up. It's like you're taking these people's reaction to you, you're taking it in and you're taking it personal, too personal. To the point to where it's like you need a mom and a dad situation. It's like you're recreating your childhood. You're recreating the pain of something that can't be fixed. And you have to let it go. You have to let it go. You have to let this situation go, these people go that no longer serve you. And they never really have. To if I'm going to be honest, they never honestly really have. And it's you, just not feeling secure within yourself and trusting in yourself, and maybe even comparing yourself to other people and what they have, what they've done, instead of working with yourself in the light that you are. It seems like you focus more on what you don't have than what you do have, which is going to be the cause of the Tower. It's going to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, like I said before, the goddess can use anything for her good, so you need this Tower. But I feel like if you don't get an understanding that, maybe some of your unhealed energy is going to be with you, whether or not you're with these people or not in this situation, that you moving forward and being in a more positive environment that is for your highest good, you can still heal yourself. You don't have to stay in dark places in order to prove that you're strong. Like, you don't have to stay in situations that are harmful to you just to prove to other people or to yourself that you're strong. I feel like a lot of times in our childhood, it's just kind of like, I know with my narcissistic mother, she was like always bragging on how much pain she could take. Like, even if you get into an argument with her, she'll be like, that's all you got? Because she take everything as a jab. Some of the stuff that you take personal, you're looking at it linear. Like, these people, this person, this situation is causing me to feel bad. But it's not linear. It's from your childhood. Remove yourself. Get it together. Go get some Reiki. Get some healing. Now, if you're joining me on Patreon, every month on the Pisces moon, I will do a collective Reiki healing for everyone. Okay? Alright, so let's pull the cards for the Six of Wands, Success, and the Page of Mind. Now, this reading is ending well with that. Success coming maybe from intellectual property, writing a book. But it's collective success that's shared with the community. That's coming from your strength. Six of Wands, Page of Mind. Alright, so we have the Devil here reversed, which means that you may be going back into negative thinking about, this is the Wild card, this is the Fool again. You have negative thoughts about you being wild. Like, it's scary to you. You have resistance. You have an addiction to not moving on and not letting go. And then the next card is the Chariot reverse, which is again saying that you need to take charge. So it seems like this movement forward towards like a new life, a new way of being, a new terrain, this unorthodox life, this change, it will only come if you pull the trigger. The Tower is going to strike, but you could still very much like be going through stuff in the same situation that you're in. You're the one that's going to have to be like, okay, I'm going to stop absorbing other people's energy. How do you do that? Well, like I said before, you have to know the difference between you and them. Know that you're comparing yourself to other people. Like, know that you don't really know that you're doing this. I feel like it's a subconscious thing. I feel like it's a bad habit, like the devil card. The devil is here to break your break the chains as well. It's like you're here to stop the old patterns, and your child. Scorpios are here to break traditional, or I'm sorry, to break generational bonds and curses. And nobody likes to be abandoned, but you can't stop other people from learning their lessons by not letting go of a life and people. You have to let people live and like have their own lessons. You can't stay here. You can't stay here, Scorpio. You have to move forward and you have to take charge of it. The last card being the Chariot reverse. I will read that for you. So this reading is a mixture between like tough love and inspiration, I see. Alright, the Chariot. Issues from the past surface and they are not pleasant, but they are relevant and surface for good reason. So do not ignore them. Self-control is sorely lacking. Attempting to dominate others, losing one's sense of life and direction, irresponsible actions, overbearing and overwrought. In extreme cases, megalomania, need for stability tussles with imperative need for change. Dissipating energies on side issues in attempts to be popular. Wasteful and extravagant behavior. What is happening may not be pleasant, but it is destiny too. Misuse of ability and talent. Avarice, and greed to the point of addiction. Envy and malice at the success or happiness of others. Arrogance. Strange and unreasonable ambitions leading to overwork and exhaustion. Overestimating one's abilities and talents. Okay? So it says the lessons of the past will determine the success of the present. It is better to be tactful than forceful. Negotiate, not demand. Use the sense of power flowing in you to achieve something significant instead of dissipating it in futility. I'm going to also read the Fool since it came up twice. The Fool. Which is the wild card, okay? All readings are rendered ambiguous. When this card appears. Embrace life, accept risk, and welcome ambiguity. Fresh possibilities and new approaches to old problems. Audacity and willingness to risk is needed, as well as faith in the fundamental fairness of the universe. Great ferment may lead to anxiety or to excitement at possibilities. Regard both calmly. Do not be afraid to look stupid in following what is right. You will undoubtedly have the last laugh. Wisdom is always laughed at first, and the laughter is always nervous. This is intractable in both its positive and negative connotations, for it is the freedom of the human will to vary its possible creatively or destructively to any of the many problems that life throws up. Childlike, pure perspective to life, personal quest, self-awareness, and rapid spiritual growth. Following your bliss, extreme independence of spirit and personality. Adventurous and spontaneous, what resists persists, what is accepted transforms. Very good or clear warning signs for health issues. Solutions lie in unexpected quarters or strange approaches. This card is the Joker of modern pacts, and it cannot be counted upon to behave, not as it has always done in the past, nor indeed in any way that may be reasonable or unreasonably predicted. This is all what we've been talking about here. You know, you can't be always expected to be so prim and proper. That's not your nature always. You're very dynamic and multifaceted. You deserve to explore and have adventures in your life. Trust yourself. Trust your wisdom. Yes, people are going to laugh. People are going to make fun. And it might hurt your feelings. Take it. Embrace it. Don't let it stop you, though. Don't stop at that point. Like, how dumb would it be for you to be held back because other people don't understand you? Think about that. That's not what you want. You don't want to look back on your life and be like, I was held back because somebody was like making fun of me or whatever, and I don't like being made fun of, so I ain't gonna like not do nothing. Like, no, that's not life. That's not living. You deserve to get the last laugh. And it looks like you will, but it looks like it's your decision. You can use these energies you can actually use, just like the universe, you have the same power within you, to use these energies as a catalyst, even if they're unpleasant, to propel you forward. Or you can be like down and throw a tantrum and because I feel like what you're looking for is perfection. You want other people to put the same standards on themselves as you do on yourself. Like, you care about the virtue that you possess. And that's the way you're being controlling. And I also just spoke a word. You can't control the virtue within other people. You sitting around trying to make sure everybody is godly. It's making you stagnant and have a boring life. I mean, if you want to be on the motherboard for the rest of your life, go ahead. But I know that's not what you want. Until next month, Scorpio. Also be looking out for your year-end reading. I'm going to do a karmic spread for the first, I think I can do 4 months of 2019. Okay. Peace.